All right, good morning. So today is June 25th, and let's see what happened yesterday. So yesterday, I said that it was going to be a little hard for shorts to gain any traction, and we only were able to test to the tick to the previous week's high, and then bounce from there, and then we're grinding all day long higher. And given that we were so close to that all-time highs, we just, buyers kept just trying to get there. We couldn't get there. We left two sets of single prints. We left this gap here, which we're not even close to testing it. There was no interest in moving lower. So now, we're breaking now the high from yesterday. We left a bullish imbalance with a target at 61.85, which is very close to that, my previous target that I had at 61.90. So this is an area that I'm looking for, if not today, within the next few days, to be tagged. And we have the all-time highs around the corner. Nasdaq NDX, the cash index is going to open already at new all-time highs if we stay here. So, and then from there, I said, we have some resistance here at 62.10, and then this is the all-time highs with for the back adjusted chart, the 62.85.75. This is the last set of references I have, and it probably matches somewhere close to the new highs for SPY, which I was just looking at, that we still have a little bit to go. So once we're here, we're gonna start being in price exploration mode. There's nothing here, no references, so we're gonna have to start using fib extensions, range expansions to calculate bullish imbalances, to calculate our targets to the upside. One thing that I wrote on the note this morning is that I usually, when we're making new all-time highs, I learned the hard way not to short, because you'd think, we're overbought, there's very, very low risk, I can just put a short here, like very tight stop, and then see if we pull back into where value is. But the problem is that who's gonna sell at all-time highs, right? Like, there's little inventory, right? There's no inventory to correct, right? So we want to wait until we spend some time, some volume, and then we fail to hit some targets to the upside, or we see clear signals that the sellers are in control. But I really try to avoid shorting new highs until you wanna let some time go by that we spend up there, and then see if we can. Usually, you want to see some buyers trapped at the top, right, before we can pull back. Now, having said that, today, looking for the new highs, which should happen pretty soon. Now, if we're not able to keep moving higher, and then we start trading inside yesterday's range, which yesterday's high is at 61.55, I'm going to be looking for some of this poor structure to be cleaned up. We have these two sets of single prints. So if we get back, the first set of single prints is at 61.38, and that coincides with the overnight low. So if we get below the overnight low, then there's this set of single prints, which coincides with yesterday's half. So at that point, I'm looking for a bounce. But if we don't bounce, if we get below yesterday's half, then I'm going to be looking for a little chop here, and then if we break yesterday's low, which is also the previous week's low, then look for a gap fill. But here I want to really see strong sellers. I want to see volume building at the bottom of the range, volatility picking up in order for me to take a short. If not, I think every pullback for now might be viable, until we make, at least until we get to the 62.10. From there, I might take a short on the first test of this area. But before that, I'm not very convinced that the shorts are going to have much chances. Same thing with NQ. Well, NQ, like I said, we already made those highs. But same scenario, right? We left some single prints, so we want to watch those single prints on NQ that are right at half back, which is at 22,355, and then from there, it didn't retest the previous week's low, but it did retest inside this the range, right, which is given by this high right here. So if we get below that low, look for the 22222, and then back to an attempt to fill this gap. From here on the upside, because we just made new highs, we have all this area, which is all the way to the all-time highs on the back adjusted chart, which is at 22,872 and change. But then after that, like I said, flat price exploration mode. Okay, crude. I was mentioning yesterday that this below 68, we're trading back inside this range. So I'm looking for this 62.50 to be support for now. And then if that fails, then this is the 90-day, I believe. Is it 90? Yeah, 90-day point of control at 60.50. So if we lose 62.50, look for a couple points lower into the 60.50 area. If we get above 68, then we could see a move back to that 73.50, which is where we accepted on when we were up here for several sessions. So this is an area with a lot of volume. So if we start pushing higher again, then look for 73.50. Gold. Yesterday, remember I said that this was a good buying opportunity for a swing trade. It's still holding, so it moved about 45 points from that low. It's now pulling back. It's still, you can see it's a downtrend, but this is an area where I'm looking for support. So not much change from yesterday. All right, that's about it for today. We have new home sales at 10 a.m. Oh, Trump speaking now at 10 a.m. At 9 a.m. I'm sorry. Powell still. Wait, am I looking at the wrong date? No, this looks like the same as yesterday. But Powell still testifying at 10 a.m. And then we have crude oil inventories at 10:30 and the 5-year note auction at 1 p.m. And tomorrow we have jobless claims at 8:30 a.m. All right, good luck. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends. All right, bye.